So the guy who wrote Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters directed this film? This is an upgrade. Hey guys, my name is Joseph Curtis, and if you love movies just as much as me, you have come to the right place. Now do me a huge solid and click that like and subscribe button. Also, if you want to follow me on the following social platforms, that would be great as well. Now, let's start talking about David Harbour's Violent Night. When a group of mercenaries attack the estate of a wealthy family, Santa Claus must step in to save the day. Let's start with the things that are on the nice list for this film. Number 1, David Harbour. David Harbour is one of those actors where he's in a lot of projects, and I feel like when people are watching him, they're like, man, I love that dude. What's his name again? Now he's at this point where he's starting to build his cred and people are recognizing the name. Hence, he's in this film. And I believe that is going to be the drive for people to see this for 2 reasons. Number 1, David Harbour playing Santa Claus, and he's great. I love his take on Santa Claus. This very battered, depressed, he's kind of done with the job. He's been doing this, no spoilers, for a very, very long time. And he has a very interesting backstory, and I wouldn't mind a prequel film about his origins. Number 2 reason why I think people will go see this film, it's Santa Claus killing people. I mean, that's freaking awesome. And do they deliver? I think majority they do. This is called Violent Night, and they do succeed in the violence. I don't want to say there's a lot, like it's a super action-packed film from beginning to end, and I was kind of expecting that. But what we got was an entertaining film that knew what it is, and they executed those scenes in a fair fashion. And the next thing that I want to talk about that's on the nice list for this movie, there actually are some pretty heartwarming moments. And it's really about this family and this little girl who wants to have her mom and dad come back together. Oh, I just wish they weren't divorced. She's like this really uppity up kid who for the most part is fine, but she does have a lot of moments that were pretty cringe. And I felt like the director could have done a better job at saying, cut, let's do that again. Because at the end of the day, I don't really blame the actors. I blame the director and the casting director. I'm not saying she's terrible. She just needs a lot more work, and it shows. Now, before I go to my naughty list for this film, the last thing that I want to say is that this is actually a pretty funny movie. Not all of the comedy lands, though. There are some cliche, dirty R-rated jokes that are just not really that funny to me, but overall, it did put a smile on my face with this movie, especially from David Harbour. Like I said, he is the standout. Now to go into my naughty list, because speaking of violence, I feel like this movie could have been more violent. Now, here's the thing. For some general moviegoers who will go see this, they probably will get their fill on it. But I believe people that are going to see this film have expectations of action-packed from the first act, second act, third act. It's going to be nonstop. And then the movie does this weird thing, especially in the first half when it comes to the action. It cuts away when you get the kill shot. Right before you get the kill shot, it just cuts to another person doing another action move. It weirdly felt like a PG-13 movie in the first half. And some of the lighting, I felt like it was too dark, especially when you get to a moment between Santa Claus and one of the goons. Actually, a lot of the goons, all these elite goons, and it was a great concept, and I loved some of the kills, just needed to be brightened up a little bit more for me to enjoy that goody, bloody goodness. And the last thing that's on my naughty list for this film is the pacing. The movie came to a halt in the second act, where they didn't really know what to do with Santa Claus. They just have him up in the attic. You have these really interesting action sequences, some character development in the beginning with the heartwarming family. It just felt like they didn't really know what to do with him in the middle act. And that was kind of disappointing. But then the third act happens, and it's awesome. If you are in the need for a holiday spirit cheer with some blood, then you are going to have a holly jolly time. So with that being said, I'm going to give Violent Night a solid 7 out of 10. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this review. It really means a lot. Be looking forward to my Women Talking review, which will be uploaded next week. Also, do not forget to be blessed.